Hello and welcome back to Rich Drive. This Suzuki Alto vehicle 800. 800 in its name stands for the 800cc engine capacity that it has. Now this vehicle has an issue with the engine, and you're going to find out what the problem is in a while. Otherwise, it is popular with taxi companies because of the small cc of the engine, and which translates to less fuel consumption. So let's hear this engine and find out what the problem is. Straight away you can hear that we have a misfire in this engine, and we dive right into it by finding what is causing the misfire. One good way of finding the cause of misfire is to remove the connectors, and contrary to the first two connectors, this third connector, when it's removed, there is no change in engine sound or running. It means our misfire is in that third cylinder, and with that we have the coil plugs and the spark plugs, which we need to eliminate. Here you can see that the coil packs and the spark plugs are working okay, because you can see sparks at the end of the spark plugs, and hence the spark plugs and the coil packs are okay. That leaves the fuel injectors as the next culprit, which you should look into. Now, to get to the injectors, we have to remove the fuel rail. And for this vehicle, it's very simple. Just remove two nuts which hold the rail to the engine block, and with some twisting and turning, you can be able to access the injectors. Of course, you have to remove some connections and then plug some connectors, but this vehicle is very simple to work on. Hence, we can access this easily, and within a short period of time, we can be able to remove and access the fuel rail. Remember, with the injectors too, we'll need to check if the injectors themselves are the issue, or their wiring harnesses, or their connectors. So we are looking or watching out for those three. Now here are the injectors on the fuel rail. Now we can test them and see if they are spraying any fuel. Of course, we are concentrating on the third injector, because that's where we have our misfire. Now when I crank it, nothing happens, and that's only because I did not return the connectors to the injectors. Now I'll correct that mistake and put back the connectors and crank it again. Now here we are, the connectors are already joined back to the injectors, and as you can see, there is some spraying going on, but it's clear that there is a problem with injector number 3. But before we delve much into that, I'd like to point out something interesting with this vehicle, which may be a learning point. Here is the fuse box, and we have these two relays, and between them we have fuse with 10 amps, and then there's another with 30 amps. Between them we have this fuse of 15 amps. This is the fuse that controls the fuel injection. Back to our injectors. Now let's find out what the problem is. Clearly you can see that injector 1 is working, and also 2 is spraying fuel, but the third injector is not spraying fuel. Here we'll I think it shows that we have a problem with the injector itself or its wiring harness. But there is some small, it's trying to spray, but it doesn't have a good spray pattern. Here is a test again. So the third injector is barely spraying fuel. Now I looked into this third injector and I cleaned it using carb clean, and it improved a bit, but definitely it was really clogged and it was on its way out. So I was able to identify the cause of this misfire. That injector needs to be replaced. Thanks again for your time. If you like this content, kindly subscribe, like and share.